The countdown is on for the concert that will boost spirits and raise funds in the wake of Alberta's devastating flood. 30,000 people are going to pack into McMahon Stadium to hear Nickelback, Jan Arden, Loverboy, Colin James, and Tabor's own Corb Lund, among others, tonight. The concert will be broadcasted on TV and webcasted live around the world. They hope to raise $1 million for flood relief. Here's what else is making news tonight. Today on the CTV News at 5.
It's great. We can cool off at any time and have to wear a sweater.
How Southern Albertans are beating the heat on the job. Plus, why a Crow's Nest Pass Mac store is under new management again. And why being on Facebook could be making you feel down.
CTV News with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. Southern Albertans are getting a blast of extreme heat this week. With all the heat, though, comes some very real health concerns. Keaton Gerberback looks into ways of staying cool as the mercury rises.
Southern Albertans are savoring what's left of summer, but there is a hidden danger in all that sun. It's powerful UV rays. People who have to work outside in this heat are finding their own ways of staying cool.
Wear shorts, no shirt, drink lots of water, put sunscreen on, and that's about all you can do.
They just seem like they're moving a little bit slower. Just make sure that they get them out of the shade and get them in a cool place in the truck, in an air-conditioned truck, or in the building, and get them lots of water.
Those who are lucky enough to work indoors with air conditioning don't have to worry about the threat of heat stroke, dehydration, or sunburns. Plus, the atmosphere is much more bearable.
The benefit of the indoor on a hot day is that there's no UV from the sun, so even though the humidity can be a little bit higher because it's contained, you don't have to worry about sunburn, and the water is still nice and refreshing.
But the coolest job in town could be working in cold storage units. Here at the Mad Butcher, workers are used to minus 18 degrees and say they like it that way.
It's great. We can cool off at any time and have to wear a sweater. You know, you can actually wear clothes, and it's comfortable.
Whether you're playing in the park with your kids or working in the heat, Health Services reminds everyone to be heat aware. They say staying hydrated, taking frequent breaks in the shade, and applying sunscreen are a few pieces of advice you should follow if you're going to be out in the sun when it's this hot. Keaton Gerberback, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Dory's going to tell us just how hot it got today in a couple of moments. The hot weather, though, is expected to continue until at least the weekend, with temperatures reaching the 30-degree mark. Now, Alberta Health Services has issued a heat and humidity bulletin as summer makes a return. The heat isn't expected to be extreme, but 28 degrees feels pretty hot when the humidity is higher than normal. The next couple of days will see temperatures in the low 30s. Health officials say that can be a problem for some people.
In our bodies, we use sweat that evaporates to cool off. So if it's really humid outside, we don't evaporate the sweat, so the mechanism doesn't work as well. So it's when we have the two that we have a problem. So sometimes we have 35 and it's extremely dry, not as bad.
Okay, Dory, what's the verdict? How hot did it get today?
You know, we haven't reached maximum heating yet, so we're just under 32 degrees last time I checked, but we still have a ways to go before we get to maximum daytime heating. It can even be as late as 7 p.m. with the situation with the heat that's over us, the area of high pressure. So don't be surprised if we still hit 35 degrees today. So I'll give you all the warm details in a couple of minutes.
All right, thanks, Dory. Now, despite the sweltering hot weather, health authorities are advising us to stay out of the Travers Reservoir. That's because toxic blue-green algae has shown up in the reservoir. It's located southeast of Vulcan. Blue-green algae produce a toxin that can cause serious illness to animals or humans who drink or have skin contact with it. Health authorities say we shouldn't drink the water, swim in it, or wade in it. Don't let your pets in it either. Similar advisories have been issued for 4 other Alberta lakes. A 3-day commercial vehicle check stop is wrapped up with 69 vehicles being taken off the road. The Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Unit and Lethbridge Regional Police were out in force conducting vehicle safety checks on all commercial and private passenger vehicles. Officers checked 257 vehicles and they recorded over 400 defects. As we mentioned, 69 vehicles were taken out of service. That means they won't be allowed back on the road until those problems are fixed. The out-of-service rate for check stops was 50%. A Utah man has pleaded guilty to trying to smuggle a gun through the Coots border crossing. 62-year-old Franklin Crane was trying to cross the border into Canada on August the 9th. During the search of his vehicle, border officials found a loaded 9mm handgun in the center console. Crane was sentenced to 6 days jail time, already served a $5,000 fine. He also had to hand over the gun, and he has a 10-year weapons prohibition order. Protesters opposed to the proposed Jumbo Glacier Resort say they have stopped some heavy equipment from reaching the remote work site. Demonstrators have been camping along the road west of Invermere and say they have turned away a compact excavator being moved to the Farnham Glacier. Jumbo Glacier Resort was proposed back in 1991 and has been a hotly contested issue in the Kootenay region for 2 decades because of environmental concerns. The BC government designated a large area around the glaciers as a resort municipality earlier this year, and work is underway on ski lifts, a 150-room lodge, and a day lodge. Well, the Crow's Nest Pass Max store is under new management. Again, the former manager says he was fired recently after raising concerns about the way he was being paid. But Max, it has a different story. They say they're missing cash and product and have filed a complaint with RCMP. Terry Boat reports.
Saqib Ali says he was managing 2 Max stores in Calgary when the company convinced him to move to Blairmore and take over the store here. Ali moved to the pass with his father, brother, and sister, based on previous earnings statements that showed they could expect to make enough money in Blairmore to support the entire family.
Max, I know, they are not fair with us. They're just taking advantage.
Saqib says they've received far less than promised. The contract he showed us called for Max to deduct $1,500 a month for a security deposit. Instead, he says, the company was deducting most of their earnings every month to pay that fee.
The store was making money, obviously.
Yeah, store was making a good money, but we didn't get anything for the last 2 months.
Saqib claims there were 2 months when his family received no income at all, but when he complained, he was told he could always give 30 days notice and quit. He says he refused because he didn't want to work another 30 days for no money. Saqib says he was fired the next day. The store is now under temporary management. A spokesman for Max says the company has filed a complaint with the RCMP.
Right now, the RCMP are doing a criminal investigation against him for theft over $5,000 and theft of product.
But Saqib and his family say they have the documents and paperwork to prove their allegations. They claim the family has lost everything, including thousands of dollars that had been transferred from the security deposit on their Calgary stores.
It's happening to every dealer, but they don't say anything because they get scared. If they say anything, so they will get fired.
The family is planning to hire a lawyer, but say that'll be difficult because they're now behind on their rent, broke, and jobless. Terry Vogt, CTV News, in the Crow's Nest Pass.
We contacted Crow's Nest Pass RCMP. They declined to comment. A Lethbridge McDonald's manager has received a national McWard. Kevin Stalker has been named one of the company's 2013 Outstanding Managers of the Year for McDonald's. The award is given out to restaurant managers who demonstrate consistent, outstanding performance. Stalker, who works at the Westside McDonald's, started 22 years ago as a grill person and worked his way up to manager.
I think over the years you just kind of learn how to develop the people that work for you, and you get a chance to really maybe inspire or coach them to perform their best every day, which I think overall results in a great customer experience.
It's not the first time Stalker has been recognized. He also received the award in 2004 and has twice been named Outstanding Assistant Manager. Work on the expansion of the Chinook Regional Hospital in Lethbridge is starting to take shape. Alberta Health Services tweeted this photo of the construction. The new 5-story building will mean upgraded facilities for the emergency department, day procedures, the cancer clinic, delivery rooms, and newborn care. The expansion will cost $135 million. It's set to open in 2015. Well, it sure feels like summer these days, and that means it's barbecue season. And if your propane tank is a little low, now might be a great time to top it up. 100% of all low-cost propane sales from today and tomorrow will go directly to the Canadian Cancer Society. Triangle Gas and low-cost propane are also serving up a barbecue. $3 will get you a hamburger, bag of chips, and a pop. Those proceeds will also benefit the Canadian Cancer Society.
Absolutely, every dollar counts. There seems to be more and more people with cancer, and it'll be just wonderful if we can even find one cure for one type of cancer. You know, then we're on the way, on the road to recovery, so to speak.
It affects every family, so it's a good cause, and everybody needs to be aware that a cancer is an important thing, and research is important, and we all need to donate to this important cause.
Last year, the low-cost team raised just over $30,000 throughout Alberta. Speaking of money, check out the day's markets. Dory's got weather when we come back.